But before that, you may remember that we have been keeping across the story of the reopening of Doncaster Sheffield Airport the last few months. Well, the body which brings together South Yorkshire's councils has approved an additional £10 million of public money to try and reopen it. Local politicians are keen to resume flights as early as spring 2026 and create an aviation hub at the site. Our transport correspondent Spencer Stokes has got more.
A cautious approach from South Yorkshire's mayoral combined authority. They hold the purse strings when it comes to getting Doncaster flying again. Today they provided another £10 million of funding for Doncaster Council. But a final decision on backing reopening will have to wait until the summer.
Right way to do it. So we're trying to make sure that everything is sorted out before we take that big decision.
Are you starting to have doubts about the financial case?
No, I think it's absolutely right, and what people watching this would expect is to wholly make sure that we are getting this deal right for South Yorkshire. Essentially, the opportunity economically is 9 to 1, so for every pound you spend, apparently we will get £9 back. But I think it's right, when you're spending this amount of taxpayers' money, potentially, that you do everything you can to reassure yourselves of those numbers, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Doncaster Sheffield Airport was closed by its owner.
A fortnight ago, the Chancellor of the Exchequer voiced her support for Doncaster's aviation plans. As yet, there's no money from the Treasury, but she hasn't ruled it out.
The spending review comes in June, but we're working closely with both Ros Jones and Oliver Coppard to make that a reality. I mentioned it in my speech because I recognise the potential that Doncaster Airport has.
DSA needs public funding because it hasn't attracted private investment. Instead, money to run the airport will come from South Yorkshire Combined Authority. The plan is to provide City of Doncaster Council with £145 million of funding. That helps pay for the lease of the site from Peel Group, who used to run DSA. The council will also loan their own new public company, Fly Doncaster, £105 million. Fly Doncaster will employ 2 airport specialists, FP Airports and Munich Airport, to help operate the business. Fly Doncaster then needs airlines. Wizz Air and TUI were flying from here until 2022. The hope is they can be enticed back. We're talking about a summer 2025 decision. Is a 2026 opening still realistic, spring 26?
It's still on the cards. I'm not going to be rushed into a decision about spending this amount of taxpayers' money. I've got to get this deal right alongside leaders of South Yorkshire for taxpayers of South Yorkshire, and that's exactly what I'm determined to do.
Reopening DSA remains the ambition, but without private investment, the airport master plan has become more challenging. Spencer Stokes, BBC Look North, Sheffield.